Hi ladies, it's Fiona here, and as promised on Peace with Food, I promised that I would be talking about the difference between temptation and tranquility, and I wanted to show you today a couple of little techniques that I use that can really help you find out if you're giving into temptation or if you are in a place with peace with food, seeing as that's what we're doing here all along. Okay, so the idea is that we can find out whether we are being coming from a place of real temptation, and if there's something else going on behind the scenes that's got us really tempted and craving, and that whole feeling that sort of comes over you and makes you feel like, I have got to have this food no matter what. It's mine, I've got to have it. And it's like sometimes in the past when I'd be sitting here, I'd be doing something and that food would just keep calling and calling and calling and calling me. But I've worked out certain ways and certain techniques that actually allow me to find out, is it the food that I really want? Is there a need there? And usually there's something else going on behind the scenes. And the whole reason of doing Peace with Food is to work those things out. So this is just like an opening for you to understand, like, as well as what I've been teaching you with the meditations and this finding your safe place and finding your peace of food, peace within your body, coming back to here, is to try and help you work out what's really going on when you get those massive cravings. I sometimes feel that when you have those temptations, those really strong temptations, they're like being under a spell. It's like falling under a spell of a particular food. Like I said, they sort of call you from a distance, and there's no way you can get away from them at all. The one particular thing that I want you to find out today, why I'm here, is you already know how to go to your safe place. So if you are in that place where you're standing in the kitchen, you're in a restaurant, you're walking past a fast food service and something calling you, or you've got biscuits in your drawer, or there's something crisps going on. It was crisp, always crisp with me. If there's something going on and you just find yourself that you're not able to get rid of that temptation to stuffing yourself full of chocolate at the end of the day because you're so sad, it's just these questions that I really want you to get very clear in your head so that you can take things a little bit of a step further. All right, so you already know how to gauge your stress. You can find out if you're stressed, but you can actually find out from your safe place. So basically from your inside, this is how you start using your yes and your no. So if you've got to that part in the process already, start using that. But what you want to ask yourself first is like, oh my God, I have to have it. First of all, you want to find out if you're hungry. I know it seems really, really basic, but sometimes we don't even ask ourselves, or we ask ourselves afterwards rather than asking ourselves before we actually put something in our mouth. I would like you to be able to ask yourself, am I actually hungry at this precise moment? If you don't know what hunger feels like for yourself, use something like we do with the stress gauge. Find yourself where you are when you're absolutely, excuse me, starving, and where you are when you're like, oh my God, I'm so full, it's like having had a Christmas dinner. Where are you on that scale? Because until you know, you won't necessarily know where your hunger is. So if you're asking yourself, am I hungry? Yes or no? And you can feel it from your body. So this isn't taking something from your head perspective and saying, yeah, I'm hungry, it's 5 o'clock, I must be hungry, it's dinner time. Find out how hungry you are. So get yourself on your scale so you know whether you are actually hungry or not. Secondly, when you ask yourself if I'm hungry or not, get the answer from inside. So actually let your body get into your safe place. The more you do it, the easier it is to get into your safe place. Allow yourself to drop down away from your head and into your body by following the videos and things that I've given you already. Drop down into your body and kind of say, am I hungry? And get your no or your yes. My no is basically I kind of like tip forward. My body contracts a little bit. and I feel my belly contract and my chest contract, and I know I'm sort of like being pulled forward. And if I'm hungry, or whatever question I'm asking, if it's a yes, I get a very sort of expansive and open feeling, and often I sort of like find myself kind of floating backwards. It's a game I play with the boys as well. I get them to shut their eyes and I ask them a question. Do you like pizza? Do you like this? Do you like that? And their body will go yes or no. So it's just a practice, and use it as a game. Start playing it with other people as well, and just seeing what kind of questions and what kind of answers come back for you, and then you'll start to trust it. So use it as a bit of a game, and kind of like before you go into eating your temptation, just find out where you are actually at that moment. What you can also ask yourself in the next point is, I do this before I go in the kitchen, before I prepare food. I'm preparing food for my boys, and often I used to end up just eating what they were eating and thinking, well, that wasn't very satisfying, was it? And of course, then you want to carry on and satisfy yourself with a piece of chocolate or something like that. So ask yourself when you go into the kitchen, again from your quiet place, your safe place, go inside and say, what do I really, 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 what I want to eat? First, am I hungry? And what do I really want to eat? And oh my God, my body gives me the answers. It just goes, oh yeah, that would be awesome. Make that for yourself. And you take food from a different perspective rather than just always from just seeing what's available or what's on the list. So that's two very, very powerful questions. If you still find that you are tempted towards something and you want to know, does that actually fulfill me? Does that actually make me feel really, really fulfilled? So stay quiet and tune in. Is that what's really going to fulfill me? Because maybe, what am I really hungry for? These are your missing nutrients that I talk about when I do the total body reset. We find out what your missing nutrients are. So what are you really hungry for? What would I rather be doing than eating this particular food? And it may be coming from a place where you're trying to fill a gap, or that you think you deserve more, or, yeah, of course, because you've been stressed or you had an argument or something like that. We're looking for something to fill the gap. And if you feel you've had a bit of a hard day, then often you'll be wanting to look for something that you feel better with, that you feel that you deserve more because you've had a bit of a shit day. I hope that helps you. And you just have to know there's so much more to learn. There's always more coming through. If you're going to be a woman who's winning with her weight, if you're going to be able to sort of like be really easy and comfortable around food and be able to go to the buffet table and not have to sort of devour the whole lot, but you're there for the social, or you're there for meeting friends. You're not there to just eat the fish and chips. You're not there to just eat everything on the buffet table. And this is what I'm talking about. It's not a diet that we're doing. It's understanding that you have a real peace with food. It's like, oh, okay, food. Well, what do I want? What do I want to eat? What is it that will fulfill me, rather than just what's on the table today or what's in the fridge? Do yourself a favour, and I'll let you have the link to the Total Body Reset program that I do as well, because it releases the major stresses, the major emotions that are going on in your life, or have been held on to you from previous times in your life. It could be from abuse, it could be from financial debt, it could be from all sorts of other things, but you're holding on to that, and your body's holding on to the weight, and that's causing stress on your body as well as finding out what your missing nutrients are, and actually giving yourself permission to go and fulfill yourself with those as well. Okay, this has been rather longer than I expected, but hopefully that's really, really helped you, because that's what I'm here for. Look, give me some feedback. Please let me know how you're getting on. Let me know how you're doing with the course. I know everybody's a little bit quiet on the group, but we've all been there. And some of us are still going through it from time to time. We have a little bit of stress coming up, or a memory or something like that. And food sometimes is the quickest little healing plaster that we put over the top. That, wine or whatever, or shopping. Those are all things that are there to distract us. All right, I'm going to love you and leave you. And I'm going to come back on next week as well with another little tidbit to actually help you get more peace, and more peace with food, and a much better relationship with food altogether, and therefore a much better relationship with yourself and your self-worth. Okay, bye-bye.